And I love having all kinds of collaborations and amazing people. What Wealth Genius does is we look into the industry, we look for the very best. Mike, you are the best in this industry in terms of AI. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have to say that I'm not as savvy as most people when it comes to AI. Some people could say I'm late to the party when it comes to tech. And what's more important is that no matter whether you're behind or you don't know what's going on, I feel that everybody has to embrace it, or else you will be left behind. And
Yeah.
so I love this connection was created by our friend Nikki, and we started collaborating, and then we have an event coming up, and we'll talk about that as well. But Mike, please just share with us how in the world did you get involved with this?
All right. Well, here's the funny thing. A good buddy of mine texted me, and I had heard that ChatGPT was coming out, and this is November 20th, 2022. And he texted me, he said, "Dude, have you looked at ChatGPT yet?" And I said, "I'm going into my office in just a minute. I'm going to check it out." And he goes, "Meet me on Zoom." So I met him on Zoom, and he showed me a couple things, and that's when I had that light bulb moment. The same thing the first time I used a modem, the first time I got on the internet, the first time I used America Online, really the first time I ever touched a computer, which I'll date myself in 1976, because when I saw
Wow.
the first TRS-80 Model 1 computer at a Radio Shack, I was like, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And I started writing video games when I was 14 years old, and I did software. I'd started a couple of software companies. I had a few exits, but when I saw AI, I was like, this is 100, no, it's 1,000 times bigger than the internet will ever be. Orders of magnitude.
And we don't even know where it's going to go. Like this is just the beginning of this massive wave, right? And
Yes.
and we're just right here at the very beginning. And the people that feel like me, so I'm going to put myself in maybe someone that's listening to this in their shoes. It's like, oh my God, I don't have enough information. I feel like I'm left behind.
Right.
I don't want to be like my parents, like my mom, has to call me to use the remote for the VCR back in the day, right? So, I think everybody has to embrace it, and we got to just go with the flow. And as things become more user friendly, that's what I need. Things that are more user friendly. But
Yeah.
AI, I think the AI will fix the AI.
Yeah, well, there's that. Here's what I always show when I'm presenting on screen. As I say, raise your hand if this sounds like you. I'm so busy running my business, I don't have time to learn AI.
That's me.
And yeah, and what I tell everyone is it's like, look, the most important thing you need to realize about AI is AI will actually teach you how to use it if you learn how to ask better questions. And Tony Robbins has said for many years, the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of the questions you ask.
Yes, yes.
And I've worked with Tony for many years. I speak on his stage. I've done a bunch of stuff with him, and he's deep in it right now. And I will just say, the good news is we're at the very beginning of the hockey stick.
Yeah.
The thing you have to realize is that, in the world of real estate, for example, the people who are going to win in real estate are the ones who start using AI now and use it to do due diligence and do deals and use it, for example, to review contracts. Because
Yes.
in the time that you could say, I need help with blank, and then delegate it, and then send something to an attorney or send something to an assistant, or, you could actually just put it right inside an AI, give it a good question. In fact, you don't even need to do that. Say, here's what I want. Show me how to do this and then do it for me. You'll have an answer faster than you will have pressed the send button on your email telling someone to help you.
Yeah.
Okay? That is the new world we live in, and we're not far away from the AI's monitoring, if you give it permission, your email box and anticipating what you need and doing it ahead of time, where you'll say, yeah, I like the way you did it this way or this way. It'll do it three different ways and say, according to our experts, this expert, here's the best way to do it.
I
So
love it.
that is the future, and most people have a hard time just comprehending either giving up their agency, which we already do, which is, you know, you and I at a very young age are taught to trust the gurus or the teachers or the bureaucrats or the governments, and we've given up our agency a long time ago. This
Mhm,
is an
mhm.
opportunity to take it back because you have a massive supercomputer in your hand that's available 24/7 that will solve any problem or even automate it. It's just like, how do you bridge that short-term gap to get to the place where you take back your agency? And that's really what AI is all about.
And then you just spoke at NASA.
Yes.
I mean, like, was it surreal? Like, is it something like, like what's going on here, Mike?
Completely surreal. I'll give you the backgrounder. I'll actually show a couple slides. So,
Yeah.
I
Please,
got a
please.
call from a director at NASA who said, "We'd like you to have you show us generative AI to help NASA get back to the moon and to Mars by 2040." Okay, which I don't know anything about space travel or Mars, but here I can show you. There I am on stage speaking,
Amazing.
and um, look, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a guy who got on AI faster than most. And here I am. I'm surrounded with all these amazing scientists and etc. And I spoke next to Dragana, who is a MIT teacher. We got, they asked us, show us how generative AI is going to help us get back to the Mars. And now, one thing is, generative AI doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. All it means is you can talk to AI, it'll make images. Like all the images and videos you see are 100% made like in about 1 minute.
Crazy.
Um, and I just listened to the director telling me what they need and what they want. I recorded it. I fed that into AI to build a presentation, and then their goal was to rile up and get engineers and scientists and space investors, public and private students together and demonstrate something. So here's what happened. Um, what I showed them is, it turns out, like, if you ever send someone up into space, because of gravity and also the way we inhale air, or if you go on Mars or on the moon and breathe in particles, it's going to mess up your respiratory system. So, and one of their goals are like, how do we get to back to space? And I used AI to identify a problem, which is respiratory problems. And
So
then,
just hold on a second. So
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
you prompted AI
Yep,
to solve an issue that we could not solve.
that's right.
Like, so
Yep,
you're like,
yep.
how can we breathe on Mars? Pretty much.
Yeah, basically, how do we prevent our whole respiratory system from failing when we're in space? That's way. So the AI just took a conversation, identified a bunch of problems, and picked one of them, and then I had it design an app, and then design a commercial, and this little commercial was made in 40 minutes, start to finish, 100% synthetically. I'll play it for you now just to give you an
Wow.
idea of
Wow.
how advanced this is. Here goes.
On the moon or Mars, every breath matters. Dust, radiation, and confined habitats silently stress the lungs. Astronauts often don't realize their respiratory health is changing until it's too late. Cough Sense is a simple, non-invasive way to track breathing health over time. By analyzing coughs and voice patterns, it spots early warning signs, shifts in frequency, tone, and recovery that astronauts may not feel themselves. With Cough Sense, crews gain autonomy in monitoring their own wellness without waiting on Earth for analysis. It's a safety net that helps protect missions, performance, and lives.
All right, so
So this
what
is
did this
the
do?
this is the commercial of the app, the Cough Sense app.
Of the app, which then I used AI to build the app right in front of that NASA director. And
Wow.
she was like, she just turned to me and said, "Our engineers don't think this way." And I'm like, "Look, I know nothing about space, okay? This is not my area, but I just talked to AI to help design this, and the ideas got validated while I was there." So here's what's important for anyone thinking, okay, what the hell does NASA do to me? What does NASA have to do with me? And the answer is, you've got challenges. What I always say, you've got $100,000 challenges in front of you every day. Every business has a whole bunch of them. And it's like, how do I make the $100,000 problems go away? And how do I unlock the $1 million opportunities?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I built, and we'll talk about when we do our session together, is I made a little tool, and I'll show you how I made the tool. So I always say, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how AI will do it for you so that you can do it yourself. I teach you to fish. I'm not going to just give you the fish. I'll give you the fish too. But we're going to, I built a little tool to uncover and find your $100,000 problems and identify your $1 million opportunities, because
Wow.
the future of business are entrepreneurs solving larger than life problems that have never been solvable before, even when they don't know how to solve them. You don't need physics experience. You don't need language experience. You don't need history experience, because AI already knows all this stuff. It's about creatively thinking with the tool, and now staying in your strategic mind, not in the doing mind, because what hangs us up, especially if you're ADHD, is constantly getting distracted. Well, AI takes your distraction, turns it into creativity, and makes it real
Wow.
faster than most people can delegate.
And what I love about it is like, people like you are part of this AI revolution. It's a revolution. It's
It
really
really
what it
is.
is. And where is it, where it will end up, we don't know. We have an event though, our
Mm-hmm.
AI Accelerator 1 day virtual boot camp,
Yep.
November 11th, 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to put all the information in the show notes. You're also coming to present at Expand as well, which I'm excited about. Um, this time virtually, but maybe one day your AI will
Yeah.
come.
I'll make it. I'll make it. There's also you'd be blown away with how good some of the new AIs are. I can even demonstrate that, but keep on talk
Yeah, no,
about that, and
I
I'll
would,
get something ready to show you.
yeah, no, it would be really interesting to, obviously, I'm glad that you're coming to Expand or Expand Investor Conference, but you are going to come in person. We
Yes.
talked about that in May. But what I think is really interesting is that, you could be in a room and not be in the room. I mean, it could be
Yes.
your AI counterpart in the room doing a whole presentation for you. How far are we from that? What do you think about that?
Okay. Let me show you something, because I'm actually going to demonstrate the current um, state of synthetic video doing a likeness of. Okay, so I'll um, I'll begin here and make sure you can see my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So this I'll let you decide. Here you
Hey
go.
there, and welcome to AI Accelerator. This is Mike Koenigs, and I'm so excited to share a synthetic version of me built in HeyGen. This is the current cutting edge of synthetic video production, and as you can see, it's almost 100% there. I'm going to show you another version in a moment where I'm using my real voice in the video is following me. Stay tuned.
Okay. It's pretty close. Most
Yeah,
people who wouldn't know better, right? But
yeah,
then
yeah.
this is this one, and I'll just play it, and then I'll tell you what happened.
Hey there, and welcome to AI Accelerator. This is Mike Koenigs, and I'm so excited to share a synthetic version of me built with HeyGen. This is the current cutting edge of synthetic video production, and as you can see, it's almost 100% there. Now, this version I recorded with my real voice, so the video is actually following what I'm saying to you right now. All right, love to see what you think of it. Bye-bye.
All right. So that is state of the art. So basically what that means is, I don't know, what do you think?
I,
What's your
I
vote?
I think it's wild. I mean, I'm looking at all the possibilities, right? So,
Yeah.
in Wealth Genius, we do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of training. We have a lot of, we have modules, we have training videos, and when things need to be updated, we kind of have to wait until I get into the studio, right?
Yeah.
And really re-record because real estate is changing quickly and people need to pivot. We're going from a buyer's market to a stable market to a seller's market or vice versa. we need to be there for our students to make sure that we give them the most relevant education. But
Yep.
if I'm on the road, I'm traveling here and there, like how can I be in two places at once?
Yes. So that, my friend, is the $1 billion question. And we're close. Like right now, I could take and demonstrate this to you and for you, where we could take your curriculum, have it speak in your voice and be a virtual you, and create a sizable amount of content. And most people wouldn't know the difference. Okay. And then I can actually show you a couple other things that are also on the cutting edge that are super, super impressive. And I'm going to find one of them because my son got hired. So I mentioned that I spoke for Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
but my son just made a video for an upcoming Tony Robbins AI event. And if you'd like, I'll play that for you along with the current cutting edge of video marketing that I made what I'm about to show in about 1 minute. Okay, so I told you I'm going up to speak at a biohacker event as soon as we're done recording this today, and it's for Dave Asprey, and they're all thinking about like how do they use AI to market and promote their products and services. So these are two little mini commercials. All I did is took a picture of their logo and I spoke into an app called Sora. This came from ChatGPT. So I'm going to play two mini commercials for you that were made in about a minute each.
From the top of the strip, I'm diving into Danger Coffee. Let's do it. Vegas, baby. Woo! Smooth landing. That is bold, rich, and dangerously good. Get yourself a...
Okay, so that's the first one. Here's the second.
All right, Vegas, time to jump into a giant cup of Danger Coffee. Here we go. Woo! That's one way to wake up. Danger Coffee. Who knows what you might...
All right, that's like totally free with an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Pretty
Wild.
close to synthetically accurate. Now this, my son is using another tool called VEO3. It's a Google tool, and he's actually got a background in film production. So, and he's a good storyteller. So I'll just play it for you, and then I'll explain a little bit about how it was made and why it's relevant to our friends here. Because again, my goal is just to expose you to some ideas and some thinking. And then when we're together, we're going to actually do it together. But here
Yeah,
goes.
so
Does it feel like the world's moving faster than you can even think? Every week there's a new update, a new must learn, another AI breakthrough. You try to keep up, but the ground keeps shifting. And somehow it's getting louder. Notifications, dashboards, voices stacked on top of each other until even your thoughts feel out of sync. What if focus wasn't something you had to chase? What if clarity was as simple as changing your lens, where the noise settles and patterns emerge? You don't need more hours. You need a new operating system for your business, because when you see clearly, you realize you were never behind. You just hadn't put on the right lens yet.
So that's just a prototype. He's still working on this, but he uses tools that allow him to make like clips, and then he's editing them together. So I think what's really important, a distinction, is AI is not here to replace you any more than, if you go back in history, every time there's ever been a technological revolution of any sort, more jobs and more abundance is unlocked and created. So if you go back to like the trains, now there are some people who are using horse and buggy to move products back and forth and go across the country, for example, might have been mad about it because a train displaced them. However, when trains were being made and railroads were being laid, the opportunity for engineers and people who built trains, I guarantee you they made 3 times more than anyone riding a horse and a buggy.
100%. 100%.
And the same is happened with software and coding. Now, the truth is, the software tools like that I use to make the NASA app, anyone could learn to use. traditional, what I'd call weak programming, which would be the equivalent of putting, working at Subway and putting meat on a bun, which anyone can do. That kind of programming is going away,
Mhm.
right? But the opportunity right now for data centers and for power generation, new electricity, making high-tech solutions. There's a huge need right now, and not enough people to do that. And the wave that is being unlocked with AI is to become 3 to 10 or 100 times more effective, more capable, and more productive and value creation than ever before. And that really is the race. And it isn't any different than any other technological breakthrough, like when the web took over, newspapers shook. Well, there was still plenty of time and opportunity for newspapers to adopt and adapt.
Yeah.
So it's just happening at a pace so quickly. And I think the real question that I have for everyone these days is, if not now, when? That is the question that you've got to answer for yourself, because folks that don't get on the bandwagon, I think, are really going to suffer from this, just like ignoring email, ignoring the web. And that is, I think, what I think you have the vision to recognize.
Yes.
Is like, if not now, when? So anyone in your community that isn't looking at this as a massive opportunity to differentiate themselves, be the best, the most expensive, and the only. Pick something unique and own it. And right now, there are so many opportunities to completely own and dominate a space with AI.
Wow. I can't wait. November 11th. November 11th. By the time we get to November 11th, we might already have new updates.
I guarantee you. Here's what's happening. I swear this is the case. So just literally, when not even 30 seconds before you and I connected to record this, I got a message from Dave Asprey. He sent me a brand new update from a brand new company he got involved in. He says, "Hey, can you use AI to do something for this?" And I'm like, "Sure thing." So I got about a 3-hour flight from San Diego to Austin. I'm going to be building 40% of the presentation I'm going to be presenting less than 24 hours from right now. 40% of it's going to be completely different with brand new technology that's been released in the past 24, 48, 72 hours.
Wow.
That's how fast this is moving. So by the time you and I are together and we're doing our session, there's a probability 60% of what I normally present is going to be updated. Now, I'm going to focus on the mindsets. The mindsets never change.
Yeah.
But the tools are shifting, and the tools are toys. They're just vehicles. The key to this whole world right now is you have an opportunity to switch between a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Tesla if you want, a Lotus if you're into something, or if you just prefer driving a big old Sequoia, fine. If you like a Cadillac, fine. All these AIs are just different vehicles to get you to the same general place. But I pick a different car. I use a different vehicle for everything, because some of them are better geniuses in different areas. And they're racing right now. I mean, this is the F1. And right now, AI is in the space of F1 cars. We're going to be at F1 spaceships a year from today, or 2 years from today.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Again, I'm not a techie person, but I have to embrace it. That's the mindset I have. I have no choice. I have to figure it out. I got to embrace it. I got to get on ChatGPT. I'm realizing the more that I use it, it's all about prompts. And I think a big shift in the education system right now needs to be in teaching young people how to prompt AI, right? And it's not being taught. Like where do you see things going in terms of the education system for our young people?
So here's the thing. I talk to a lot of kids. I mentor a lot of kids, and I help them. Like my nephew started a company with one of my clients, and then he helped him solve $100,000 problem in a week by writing an AI, and he's not a programmer, okay? And he was told over and over again, by a bunch of companies. We don't have a solution for this. You're on your own. And it was basically a complicated tax problem he had. So then after that, my son and he were talking and brainstorming. So my son went away, and my son's 23 and my nephew's 20. So my son went away, created a little mini commercial, prototyped an app, built a business plan, and had a functional prototype of the product ready in 1 week. And this client, and my son, he didn't finish college. Like he's smart, but he's been exposed to this. And I just showed him the same stuff I taught at NASA. Okay, same exact thing. He took this and ran with it. So what happened was this guy gave my son a high-paying job, close to 6 figures, plus equity in the company with 1 week of work. So now I'm going to answer your question about the future of work. The future of work, the best kind of work, is mentorship, apprenticeship. Here's the reality. I think most kids know how to use ChatGPT better than the teachers do. And they tell me all the time, they cheat with it. Okay. Now, really, really smart kids don't want to cheat with AI. They'll say, I didn't use AI to finish my work. But other kids who are using it to cheat are getting more work done faster. And I'll be like, okay, well, you could say that's terrible. Or you can say it wasn't too long ago, like when I went to school, I had to handwrite everything on paper. And if something was too messy, it got sent back to you and you had to redo it again, okay, by hand. Okay, then it got to be okay where you could type something. But, with an old typewriter, they didn't have whiteout built into the old ones. You had to take a little thing and put whiteout paste over a bad letter, back up. And then calculators, we couldn't use calculators, okay? And so with every advancement in tools and technology and education, the educational systems absorb the new tools, make it mainstream. And again, you can look and say, well, AI to get schoolwork done is bad. Now, I think all kids need to learn real history and how to connect with people and get their damn noses out of their phones, okay? This is crack cocaine and giving your kids heroin. If your children have a phone, you're enabling addiction. That is a hard fact and reality that we live with in today's society, okay? I can't change that, but we can be aware of it. So the future of education is integrated with AI when a young person can learn how to use this amazing mind-expanding tool, get mentored on the job, maybe not having to go to college, but get a high-paying, high-powered job, AI-enabled, to create value at a younger age. I say the key, the secret to growing a better world is to allow everyone to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is an international language of peace and prosperity that
100%, 100%.
Every culture and every person. And I think bringing experienced, wise people together with young people to show them the ropes and AI enable is the future. And I think those who ignore that are going to be left behind.
And it's also the past, because this is how we used to teach, mentorship and apprenticeship. That's how we used to teach things like, hundreds of years ago. We only changed into the current education system during the industrial era, where we needed assembly lines. So we needed to make sure that we created lots of employees for assembly lines.
We turned humans into robots, and right now, so I had a little brain fart. I was out for a walk the day before yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, if you talk to not all, but most Uber or Lyft drivers, anyone who's driving and doing gig work, most of them will say, I love the fact that I've got total freedom. I can work wherever I want, whenever I want to, and make as much money as I want to. So in a way, we've been training an entire new class of entrepreneurs who are thinking through the lens of being absolutely flexible. So an AI-enhanced, AI-enabled workforce where anyone with one of these can go out and find opportunities, solve problems, and create value anywhere in the world without language or your education system interfere. It's like you can tell stories, you can build apps, you can solve problems that are unsolvable. I think that is a better way of looking at this than, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job putting shoe horses on a or horseshoes on a horse, or shoveling animal poop in the streets. Okay, because it wasn't too long ago people were dying
Yeah.
because the animal poop created and caused or supported disease in the
Wow.
street.
Yeah.
Okay, and technology will solve our biggest challenges. That is the illusion and the hallucination that I choose to believe. And look, it isn't all roses, but I think we can solve our biggest problems faster. And people who normally didn't have access to the tools to solve these problems, or the education, or whatever kind of access, suddenly will.
My good friend, I love this. AI Revolution, November 11th, our AI Accelerator. 1 day boot camp, 3 hours, 11 and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have an offer here for everybody. It's
Yep.
like a $600 event, but we're doing it for $87. And all the information is down below. If not now, when?
That is
If
so
not
true.
now, when? And I think for Wealth Genius, we brought the very best. I'm excited about this AI revolution and everything that we're going to be doing together and all the plans that we have, Mike. I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to that event in November 11th. Quickly, what are they going to
Yeah.
learn
Oh, yeah.
before we
The
sign up?
most important thing of all.
Yeah.
All right. So I teach something, we call it the 4 quadrants of AI. So that it's broken down into 4 categories. So number 1 is enhancing your AI superpowers. You're going to learn the fastest, easiest shortcuts to using AI like an expert in a matter of minutes. And I'm going to give you my 5 best tools. And if you just understand these basic tools, and they're really simple to use and they're progressive, okay? Even with one of them, you're going to get further faster. So that's the first one. The second is what I call your one-person marketing team. If you think about it, the greatest, most successful humans are great storytellers, okay? Elon Musk, whether you love him or hate him, is a great storyteller. The reason why he bought Twitter that became X is so he could storytell and broadcast without censorship, right? That tells you something about him. Steve Jobs sold us the iPhone. This is back in 2007. This is the greatest pitch ever. Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. If you can't tell a story, you're screwed. Okay,
Yeah.
you won't be given the chance. So you want to sell a house, you got to be a great storyteller. You want to sell real estate, you got to be a great storyteller. It doesn't matter what it is. So storytelling with AI, faster, more effectively. The third is creating value. So I'm going to demonstrate how to create apps, marketing stories, even writing books and content that turn into products. I always say your goal is to be a category of one founder brand, the best, the only, and the most expensive. And the fourth is automation, using AI to automate, like check your email, follow up with email, or do tasks for you while you sleep. How about an AI that helps you find customers and leads, or will go out and do due diligence for you? Those are the kinds of things that we're going to be covering and learning. So it's 4 quadrants. The most important thing is, yeah, I'm going to show you how to do this. Yeah, I'm going to give you the tools, but more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to think in AI so you and your teams can do it. And then, of course, there's a way to continue once we get this momentum going, because the good thing about Alfonso and I is we're focused on and thinking about your better future and how to create a better future for you so you have more time, more money, more freedom. And that's really what Expand and AI Accelerator together is all about.
Woo! I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I'm excited. We're gonna give people the tools that they need in order to participate in this massive wave, and I'm not missing it. I am going there. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing
Yep.
myself, Mike. I
You
have.
got to do it, man.
Yeah.
This is like I would hate to not be in the middle of this. And look, it's moving fast, but there's a way to grab on, hang
Yeah.
on, and you know what? If you hear someone say, "I'm the biggest, best guru in the world," they're a liar. We're all learning at the same time. I'm the one-eyed king in the valley of the blind. You know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed king is, or the one-eyed man is king.
Mhm.
I got an eye on this. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not saying I'm the best or the only. What I do have the benefit of is I am in the dirt right now, solving problems, building businesses, and teaching tens of thousands of people. It does give me a bit of a leg up. But in the meantime, I'm learning just like you. And I'm just a little bit further ahead because I've got some exposure. But that's what's great about it is I'm really, really motivated. It gives me a ton of ambition to support and help more entrepreneurs make more, keep more, and have more freedom because of the tools.
I love it. November 11th is the date. The information will be somewhere attached to this video or on the podcast show notes. Mike, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. One last thing. What's one mantra or something inspirational that you live by?
Oh, man. So my outside of AI,
Anything.
Okay.
Just in general, your life.
dude, get it done now. Urgency, urgency, urgency. If I have a rule, here's my rule of life. I'm gonna either do it with you right now, I'm gonna schedule it to do it with you, or I'm gonna delegate it, or the answer is no. So I don't do homework. That's one thing I don't do. So now, urgency, no homework. Those are my rules of life.
The best time in history is now.
Right now.
There's
Yep.
there's no better time than now.
I wouldn't want it to be any faster, and I wouldn't want it to be any slower.
Thank you, Mike. We'll
My
see
pleasure.
you November 11th. Let's go.